Welcome to Fated World Blades in the Dark. Um, Today, we are going to hopefully not die from crazily wandering out beyond the lightning barrier to capture ghosts.
I mean, it's a distinct possibility.
Yes. With us today is Dimitar playing Leah. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I have a muscle ache, as I've mentioned earlier to you guys, from playing tennis with a friend. It was great, but very tiring.
Well, that sounds like physical activity, which
I
is...
know. It's weird for me too.
And Hassa...
For an hour and a half
Oh, I'm sorry,
straight,
go
I have to.
ahead, I missed that.
I mean, it's physical activity, and we only played for hour and a half, and I have, I have this muscle ache for 2 days now.
Oh no.
So...
It was serious physical activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to either do it more or less. Either way.
That's the spirit.
And Hassa, playing Lan, how are you?
I definitely do lots of physical activity as well. It's called Pokemon Go, and you get very fit. No, it's good. It's super hot here, but it's super awesome. So, yeah.
Good deal. And Kelsa, playing everybody else. How are you?
The entire messed up world
Yes.
of Duskfall and all of its demons and crazy who even knows what's.
And squirrels.
Thinking of demons and crazy who knows what's, I've got right here 4 devil dogs are approaching the crew in Golden Eyes on your way back to Duskfall. Golden Eyes, if you remember, is the shapeshifter that you guys came out here to convince to help you with ousting the hive from a nearby, was it coffee shop?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
just on one side of the bridge from the bridge that is your base, in an effort to gain some territory. Turf.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The question is, what do you do? You are all out there walking back to town. You did not have any type of a vehicle. And there are demon dogs. They're scary. They're coming this way.
I think we need to, well, everybody but Lan, hide behind Lan.
I mean, we were gonna set up a trap, right? To make it harder for them to approach
That's
us.
an option. Yeah.
So the only problem is that the person who's probably best at that is not there, and if somebody else screws up, then stuff is gonna go bad. Is anybody good at tinkering? Because I'm very, very bad at anything that.
Well, but
yeah. Anybody's here.
Yeah. I think that I'm good at all the other... actually, no, that's under insight. So, no, not even. I was going to say that I was good at all the other things in that category, but that's not even true. I thought it was all under resolve.
Maybe Leah can convince Golden Eyes to, turn into something that would be useful.
If that's an option, you can definitely try it.
I think Lan is just going to... I know, Lan is going to use some of his gear. Pull out some, very good demon dog fighting weapons. And then, we just hide. Maybe Farouk, hold up something that might scare them away from our location and pray.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
could try to like attune with other local spirits and maybe get some help there, but
Do that. That sounds more
it's
fun.
worth a try.
Do that. Yeah,
I think.
definitely. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna look around for an advantageous position to hide or to be in, so that we can we at least have the high ground or something useful to our advantage if they attack.
Okay, so you're looking for an
Advantageous position. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
am.
I don't know why I could not say that. Mm, 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 mm. All right, so like how are you looking around? Are you, I mean, just scanning with
I
your
just
eyes, or are you like?
yeah, I'm just scanning with my eyes. I think I'm using my my experience to see if I can know where the kind of spot is. I don't
Okay.
think we have time to do anything else.
Yeah. Okay. So from what you're describing, that sounds like a survey to me. Do you agree? Is that what you're trying to use here?
Sounds good.
Okay. So this is risky. They're coming up. You don't have a lot of time. But it's not desperate. They're not quite on you yet. So, I think you've got a standard effect here. If you find something, it will be helpful. If you don't, well, could be disastrous.
Seems like it's not disastrous yet.
No, not yet. Was not a crit, but 6 are good. 6 is good. Yeah, you totally find a good place to give you like some high ground and like a limited approach vector. There's like some kind of a structure that has been partially crumbled. There's like a ramp coming up to like up one side of it, and then there's like a flat top that you guys can go up on top of, forcing the dogs to come up that one ramp as they approach instead of being able to surround you.
That way. Quick. Stay behind me.
Oh. Sure.
All right, so
That's what I do to prepare. And pull out, my weapons and
of course,
stuff.
I assume that everyone follows unless you have another plan.
Yeah, let's follow. Is that better, Brad?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
My mic keeps changing settings on its own for some reason.
Oh,
Somebody else was having that problem the other day.
Yeah, I have some experience with that.
Anyway, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so let's see. The three of you get up on top of this just as the devil dogs approach, and they're starting to come up. They're starting to come up the ramp. The four of you, because Golden Eyes is with you, and they also, of course, follow up that way.
They didn't want to die?
No, it's weird. They change into a big, burly, muscled man, ready to throw some punches, but shapeshifting seems to be the limit of their capabilities. So right now they have no weapons. And looking at these things, you're not sure that they want to punch them with their fists. They're made out of like, they have like a weird chitinous exoskeleton and are slobbering and dripping ichor out of like splits in the exoskeleton, and they have they make noises kind of like a hyena, that weird like giggling chitter that hyenas make. except that it sounds slightly more insectoid and is just really creepy.
So you're saying they're super cute and cuddly.
Oh yeah, totally. Everyone but Farouk can take a level 1 harm of fear. Farouk, you can take a level 1 harm of aroused.
Okay. I want to resist that.
I was about to ask, do we get
Yeah,
to
yeah,
resist?
you can totally resist that. Absolutely.
Damn it, I don't know if I want to.
I'm guessing it's a resolve? Resist?
Yeah, it would be resolve.
What does level 1 harm do again? Effect. Damn.
Hmm. Ooh.
This is not the right page.
Or is that just the cost in stress?
So that one is how much stress you take if you roll it from the resist. Yeah. So you take one stress to resist that, which is not bad.
Yep.
It's actually pretty good.
Is there anything I can do to ignore this or to increase my chances of successfully? Because I don't want to take the harm, but I definitely don't want to take stress either.
Oof. You do not have any type of armor against supernatural stuff. This is not a situation where like physical armor would help you. You're pretty much, unless you want to do a flashback to like when Zigd gave you like a potion of resistance to fear effects or something.
I mean that sounds good. Then
but that would also probably cost you stress, but not as much.
I mean, I have 6 stress, so I can't afford to roll over a 2. So taking 1 stress for a flashback is better. Even 2 stress for a flashback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell me about this flashback. We'll see if it's gonna cost you 1 or 2 stress, and if it would cost you 3, you can just say no.
Okay, let's see.
And the thing that helps you would just give you an extra die towards
you know what?
reducing the stress, towards resistance, right? The thing that you'd be flashing back to get would just be giving you an extra die towards the resistance roll.
No, correct? It would be like getting like a temporary armor against something like this.
Oh, okay.
So I saw somewhere that the cutter has a rage potion. I imagine that's something, a trick that I learned from back home in my in my training to being an assassin, that I learned that there's this concoction you can make to put yourself, on your highest peak. And I can imagine that I would have asked Zinged to tweak it a little, improve it, I guess.
And in fact,
alternatively,
the rage essence by itself might work. Hold on, let me take a look.
Oh yeah, that has the problem that it doesn't.
The page with items is broken. Hold on, let me delete this and re-upload it real quick.
As an alternative, would it be possible for Farouk to just have something as part of his kit that would help land?
Also, isn't it possible for someone else to jump in front of the harm for me if they want to? Of course, I'm not.
Yes,
trying to make someone.
Yes,
you guys could save me from my fear if you're not very stressed.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but I have 5 stress. I mean, I
I mean,
can probably easily
fictionally,
resist
you
it.
all were hiding behind Lon, and have someone just jump out and be like, "I'll take this for you." It doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you can convince me otherwise. Um, that's always possible.
Okay.
Items. Let's try this. I'm gonna upload it as a PNG instead of as a PDF and see if that helps.
Well, could I maybe, either with item or just whispering in Lon's ear, attempt something helpful in terms of not necessarily jumping out in the way of these things physically, but like being
Of assistance.
just kind of being of assistance, just kind of talking him through that that this is something that we dealt with all the time back in Aruvia. Don't even worry about it. Just kill them.
Yeah. Since you guys have that shared history and that definite connection, I will allow it.
Okay.
If you want to step in and take the consequence, and then resist it on his behalf, I will allow it.
Okay. Sure.
The rage essence vial, I think I would like to take that anyway. A swig of that. It greatly enhances strength, resistance to pain, and irrational aggression.
Yeah.
So I could take the harm, and it would resist the effects of the harm, I imagine, for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, like it would temper. Like I would. That's what I was gonna say. Is I think the rage essence would give you basically a temporary boost to not being afraid, but when it like ran out, then you would suddenly become afraid. Like
yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
I just ignore the effects of the harm for a bit. I mean, we could do that. We'd have to be very careful afterwards. But if you want to, if you really want to catch like one of these creatures, Farouk, and we really want to, put a lot of stuff on this, then we could. I could just take the harm and drink a swig of the rage essence in BK for a couple of minutes.
Well, let's see how feasible capturing one of these things is as the fight goes on. Like uh, like if things are going well, then sure. But if it's hard just to survive, then
you have to make the decision now as to whether or not you do the resistance. So
okay. Well, I'll definitely do the resistance and like metaphorically jump in the way.
Okay. No, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
You can still take the rage potion and have that going on. That's also cool.
Then I will.
Okay.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and resolve now.
Wow.
I love it.
You have so many dice there. That is cool.
That is a lot of dice, actually.
Farouk is never afraid of anything.
Yeah, he's full of resolve.
Right? He is full of something. Also, I added the alchemy page because apparently I didn't have it here in the handouts. So, that one. Okay, cool. All right. So, what do you guys do? You've now resisted the fear of these creatures. How are you gonna stop them? They're coming up the ramps. Their cruel teeth slobbering and clacking as they make little.
So I'm going to, I see that this is formidable foe, so I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to toss Goldeye as a weapon. not the biggest most badass weapon that I have, but some kind of like I think a gun, a pistol. And then I'm just gonna, go for it. These creatures are not getting past me, to my friends.
All right. How are you gonna do it? You're a small gang.
Let's see.
I mean, these dogs as a group are also a small gang, so you guys are kind of on even footing. So if you want to declare your attack against all of them, that would be the case. But if you want to just focus on one of them, you'd have an advantage. But the other 3 would be free to attack your friends.
I think the smartest thing to do is just to make to make it so that there's less of them, especially if we want to try and capture one. So I'm gonna go and make sure that one of them is just out of the game.
Okay.
Let me see how much I have with me. Just declared one item. I think I'm going to take along an unusual weapon as well. I'm gonna scatter some of those. What are they called? That you can't walk on the ground. The
I'm not sure what you mean.
There's these things that have like 3 legs downwards and one thing pointing up, and
caltrops.
Caltrops?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I'm gonna scatter some caltrops on the ground to make it hard for them to run through, and then I'm gonna go for one of them.
Okay.
To slow down the other 3, I guess. Is my plan with the caltrops.
I will let you go ahead and do the caltrops for free because you were saying you were looking at a way to do that. You probably should have done that like as you guys were coming up the thing, but basically I will let you have previously done that setup because you were talking about setting a trap as like a 0 cost flashback right here because that's how it works. Yeah. Go ahead and attack one of them. Assuming skirmish?
Yeah.
What are you fighting with? Is it swords or?
Oh yeah. Can I have double swords?
Yeah, totes. I mean, that's like look at your character. Look at Cutter character sheet. You'll see. So far, you have a fine hand weapon and a blade or 2. Yeah. I mean, a blade or 2 will give you 2 swords, just right there.
Cool. Okay, so I've used up 4 of my items, but I still have 2 left.
Okay.
So I'll take out my double swords and just stick them in one of the creatures where I think it will hurt it the most.
Right.
I would happily take a devil's bargain here.
One of the creatures leaps over the caltrops around and attacks one of the others.
Are you guys okay with that?
Sure.
I kind of want to make it golden eyes. Just because if they die, you guys are fucked.
Well, I mean, we'd just be at square one.
Yeah, you'd just be back to square one. You just gotta come up with a different plan. That's fine. Yeah, totes. So, yeah. Devil's Bargain, one of them manages to navigate around your caltrops, leap onto the top of the building, and go after Golden Eyes.
Damn it. So what's my position? Risky or desperate? Elsa?
Oh, It's hard. I'm thinking. Sorry.
Yeah, I
It's
can
between
understand.
risky and desperate.
Well, if he's a small gang himself, I would guess even
Yeah,
if it
we're
was
gonna go with risky because you're managed to single one of them out. So instead of it being even footing a gang on a gang, even though the creature itself is really powerful, you are also yourself really powerful. And so yeah, if you were fighting even footing, it would be desperate. But since you've managed to separate one out, then it is going to be risky.
What is my effect? Standard effect, limited, or great?
It's standard.
Okay, and the fact that I'm
No, it's
brutal
actually
and I gain
it
potency.
is so because of that, it will be great effect. You're right. I was just gonna say that actually. I was like, oh, it's gonna be standard, but I was like, no, it's not. Never mind.
One extra because of the devil's bargain. Come on, be something good.
oh wow.
Nice.
Sweet. I rolled a 6.
Sweet. Yeah. Boom. You just fucking scissor decapitate the thing with your 2 swords,
Nice.
and it falls into a pile of smoking ichor. And
Sweet.
the other 2, so one of them is fighting Golden Eyes, who is punching it and screaming as it hits.
Golden Eyes has a pistol. I gave Golden Eyes one of my pistols.
He doesn't know how to use a pistol.
Well, I guess
Maybe
that
he's
might be
pistol
for the
whipping it
better.
with one hand and like punching it with the other. And yeah, the fight is like very even. Like they're not making any progress. Someone is gonna need to intervene, or probably eventually Golden Eyes is gonna get tired, whereas the demon dog is not. But right now he seems to be holding his own. Farouk, Leah, what do? There's 2 more demon dogs. They're coming up. They're slowed significantly by the caltrops, but they're still coming.
So,
Whoa. Go ahead.
Oh, you mentioned in chat that something isn't supernatural. Does that mean that the demon dogs aren't supernatural?
I meant the show Supernatural.
Oh, okay.
The reference to Golden Eyes being a demon.
I see.
One
Okay,
of the
I'm
major
sorry.
plot arcs in Supernatural was a demon named that was called Golden Eyes.
Yeah, other than like the first
Or it was called
season
Yellow
of
Eyes, but that's
okay.
not here or there. But
Okay. Well,
anyway.
other than like the first season of Supernatural, the only episodes I've seen are the ones with actress whose name I'm.
Yeah, red hair. She's cute.
Yeah. Who I shouldn't be forgetting because she's a favorite, but yeah, she's awesome. Anyway, so could I try trying to get some of these things to back off with my Demon Bane charm?
Yeah, you can definitely give that a try. I think it would have a standard effect. It's definitely something that would, in the possibility of working.
Okay.
Are you gonna go after the 2 coming up the stairs, trying to hold them back, or not stairs but ramp, or are you gonna try to get the one that's on Golden Eyes?
I'm not sure. I could go either way. Well, he seems to be holding his own, but not.
Plan for the other 2, by the way. If I can, I wasn't clear on the alchemy sheet you gave us. Can we actually use those alchemicals as our items?
So some of the playbooks have some alchemicals on them that are not fully explained on the item sheet, and they're more detailed on the alchemy sheet. Plus, it's also for Zing to make alchemicals, because those ones listed there under our alchemy are things that he could potentially make, and then it has the clocks on how long it would take him to make them and such.
Yeah, no, I see. Okay.
Basically, I realized that I was missing this sheet. I thought it was on there, but it wasn't. And so I thought I would add it on there. So basically, if it's on your character sheet, then you have access to it. If it's not, and you want to have access to it, tell me, and we can do a flashback to however you acquired it. So,
Brother, you can go ahead.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. So I think it'd probably be better to go after the ones that are coming up the ramp, because Goldeneyes probably wouldn't enjoy the presence of the Demon Bane charm near him anyway. And he seemed to be holding his own, sort of, right?
Yeah, for now they seem to be holding their own.
Okay. Okay, so what would I roll to employ this charm? Is that like command to get them to get back, or is it a tune? Or I guess it. Or does that depend on me, and depending on what I choose, that determines whether or not it's like desperate or what would I normally roll?
Probably a tune.
Okay. So yeah, I will like sort of spiritually reach into and through the Demon Bane charm, trying to push these horrible things back, saying something like,
As is gone.
"No."
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Okay.
Wrong button.
saying something like, "No, you will not approach."
All right. So yeah, you're it's risky.
Okay.
And you got a standard effect. Let's roll the roller roll.
All right. Not so all right.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yikes. So let's see. Risky, failed miserably. Things go badly, you suffer harm, a complication occurs, you end up in a desperate position, you lose this opportunity. Alright, you're not going to lose the opportunity because you're not going to lose this opportunity to get killed by demon dogs. That's actually kind of good. But I think that one of the dogs just gets angry and leaps at you, biting your hand holding the demon charm. The Bane charm.
Okay.
And so you're gonna let's say it's going to sever your arm or sever your hand and swallow the demon bane charm. So you're gonna lose the demon bane charm. And also, what hand were you holding that in?
Suddenly my left. No, well, okay. In any case, I'm definitely gonna try and resist that.
Okay, that's fair. Well, you'll succeed in resisting that, but I do believe that it's still going to manage to get the demon bane charm from you and swallow it.
Okay.
But you can keep your hand. Let's see how much stress that costs you.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
And next turn, Farouk is like, "Haha, but you didn't know about my second charm."
Right?
Always have a backup demon bane charm, of course.
Wait, can't you just use armor for your hand?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to have been wearing an armored coat, like the teeth sink into the coat, like bruising your arm, and you let go of the charm, but you take no damage, if you would like that to be the case.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't think I've used any of my item slots yet. I mean, the Demon Bane charm is in italics, as Hashem pointed out, so apparently that just, like, comes for free, so, yes, I will soak that up with armor. That uses up the armor, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we allowed only one piece of armor per whatever? Or can we use another armor like next turn or so?
I know that
So
there's heavy armor.
There's armor and there's heavy armor. Heavy armor
right.
costs 2 slots and you can use it twice.
Mhm.
Armor costs 1 slot and you can use it once.
Cool.
So what's Leah doing?
I was wondering if because it's very fancy using your items on your playbooks. So I was wondering if those creatures would be affected by trans powder.
You don't know.
I don't know. Well, if she doesn't know, she's going to try
Okay.
and see what happens. And I assume at least one of them is nearby.
Yeah, totally. There's 2 of them already on the roof with you guys. The one that just almost bit off Farouk's arm, and the one that's facing against Gold Eyes. And so, yeah, you have your choice of either one of those, and the trans powder is probably going to have a limited effect, but some kind of an effect. Maybe not the effect you're expecting.
Fair enough. The one that almost bit Farouk's arm off, is it still at him, or is it like going away or something?
It's like right in front of him still. It just like swallowed something, and Farouk's hand is still there, and it like kind of sat down on its haunches and is like smugging.
Well, let's try and save his ass, because Gold Eyes seems to be doing all right for now.
Nobody cares
and
about Gold Eye.
Farouk's not really.
Right.
Not so much.
I imagine this can fall under the finesse skill for not really carefully applying it, but being accurate and basically blowing a powder into someone's face. But correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that sounds reasonable to me. How close do you get to it to do this?
Well, I imagine, or at least she imagines, that the powder, if it works, is going to be relatively safe to go close by. So she's going to go like close enough to to be sure that it's going to be close enough. So not too scared about oh no, it's going to bite me if I go closer,
Okay, no.
because it's going to sleep.
Yeah, theoretically. Yeah, it's gonna be risky because you're close enough that there's a chance it could bite you if you fuck up. But it's not desperate because you're not like right in its face, and there's only one right near you. So, yeah, go ahead and because its attention is split between you and Farouk, it's only risky. So,
Wouldn't desperate be if I'm very far away and it's going to be desperate for the powder to reach dog? Or
that is also true. If you were
Okay.
any closer or any further away, it would be desperate.
Are you angling for desperate?
Would you like
No,
desperate?
I mean,
Because you can get like this close to its nose and be like, that would totally be desperate.
If I do that and it works, it's going to be so badass.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, you could ask for that as a devil's bargain,
For what?
and like being close to it as a devil's bargain. So being close to it gives you the extra dice's advantage, but you're also close to it.
Fair enough. What does our GM think?
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
So the position would still be risky, or desperate?
Yeah, we can make it
Listen.
desperate. That would be part of the devil's bargain, is making it desperate. Yeah.
Cool.
But you get an extra die.
Mm-hmm.
The effect is standard, right? Or limited?
It's limited.
Cool. And I have an extra dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah!
Nice.
It was the third die. So good.
Yep.
And write down that desperate possession.
Desperate what?
Yes.
Position XP.
So you get a
Oh,
XP
cool.
for a desperate position. Yeah, you do it. So you get right up in its face and you blow this trans powder at it, and it breathes it in, and it sneezes weird ectoplasmic goop all over your face.
Ugh.
Um,
Bad dog.
and it starts to kind of sway and blink slowly, but it does not actually pass out. But it definitely seems to be affected. It's no longer like snarling and angry. It's I wouldn't say docile so
Name
much
it.
as name it. It's not docile so much as it's like what would
Dazed.
you say? Dazed. Yeah, that's a good word to put it. A good way to put it.
I guess we have one to take home now.
Yeah, and actually, Lan,
potentially,
you
yeah.
have manacles and chains as one of your items, so you can actually use that to keep it down.
I could, but I'm also, planning on using some as armor.
Sure, I'm just saying. We have the
We'll see.
opportunity.
We'll see what's necessary.
Yeah.
There's one is beheaded, one is now dazed. There's one that is still fighting with Gold Eyes, and there's one that is now reached the top of the stairs, or I keep saying stairs, but reached the top of the ramp, and is pissed. It's got like weird dripping smoking blood coming out of its paws where it stepped on these caltrops, and it is angry, coming right for Lon.
Cool.
What do you do?
I want to see how it works if I attack two of them. But I wonder if I could do it, like if I could attack the one that's attacking Gold Eyes and the one in front of me, because it seems like they've been different locations.
Yeah, you're not quite close enough to get them both. Unless you want to do some really weird, tricky stuff.
I could, move around and position myself in such a way that I am facing both of them. Like I could, call the nasty dog something nasty in front of me,
Hey,
and
you
then
nasty dog.
walk backwards towards the one that's attacking Gold Eyes. Then try and make it follow me.
So you're basically trying to get the one that's in front of you to follow you over to the one next to Gold Eyes so you can hit them both?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's pretty desperate. But because you're a small gang, you would still have a standard effect to hit both of them. It's no longer going to be a great effect, but you can definitely hit them both for standard effect in this desperate roll if you would like to go ahead and do that.
I would like to. Would love to.
All
Do you
right, let's.
want or need some help?
I would love some help. Help is always good.
I even know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw some rubbish at the dog that's fighting Gold Eyes, and try to get its attention to start chasing me. And me and Lan are going to chaotically bring them together so he can kill them both.
Ooh. So do I use skirmish for this? I could try making it angry by just like tapping the dog a little with the side of my sword so that it bleeds but doesn't doesn't die immediately.
I'm not sure I follow that. Sorry. Can you pitch that to me
What
again?
do I use to lure the dogs together?
So it's gonna be one roll. The lure and the attack is just one roll. It's like one combat maneuver.
Okay.
Which sounds to like skirmish to me. Probably. And that's your best stat, so you probably want to roll it anyway.
Yeah.
Um
So desperate to standard effect. I get one from Leah.
Yep.
Do I want to take one extra? It would be cool to crit this.
Yeah, I was just going to say you want that crit, don't you?
Now you are also going to mark XP for
doing desperate.
addressing a tough challenge through violence or threats, and you should have one from the last time when you killed one of the other dogs too.
Okay, cool.
Do we mark those now?
Theoretically, we should be marking those during while we're doing them, so we don't forget them at the end.
Are those like playbook advances?
Yeah, those go to your playbook. What Leah did not trip her playbook advance, which is address a tough challenge with deception or influence. So, you did not trick the devil dog into breathing that in. You just threw it in its face. So that didn't really count towards that. But you got the desperate.
I should have sprinkled it on the charm of Farouk.
And
no idea it was gonna eat it. That you had no idea that it was gonna eat that. If you wanted to do a flashback to have done that, it would have definitely cost you some stress, because that's pretty ridiculous.
At the time where it did off, you know, to sprinkle the thing on the charm, so when the dog, okay, I'm going to see what this is, it breathes it in.
Nope, that's
yeah, I'm just
not
sorry.
Yeah.
Thinking out loud.
And does that attempt need to be successful for the play for to count as marking XP?
No.
Or no?
Not
Okay. So would my failed attempt to use the Spirit Bane charm in the first place count? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally.
And that'd be resolve advance, right?
I would like to take a devil's bargain, I think. You have a good one for me?
Golden Eyes is hurt. He has been, just as you come up to take care of the one that's on him, it gets a good bite in on Golden Eyes. His arm has been savaged.
I guess
desperately.
that seems like a fair punishment for me taking risks. I'll take that.
Yes. Okay.
That is a triple crit.
Wow.
So the other one was like only kind of decapitated. This one.
Well, we don't know what happens when I'm fighting two.
You kill both. Like with a crit, you totally kill both of them. Absolutely. Cool. They are both super duper dead. How would you like them to die?
How would I like them to die?
Yeah, you tell me. Be as awesome as you want to here.
Give me a moment to think about that.